welcome to the first New Directions Summer Camp virtual orientation. Of course, we are doing things different across the board thanks to COVID-19. But thank you all for joining us. And throughout the course of this orientation, if you have any questions at all, feel free to type them right there, and we will answer them before we shut out this orientation. So please, any questions that you have, please ask, please, because we are here to cover any and every concern that you may have, any thought that you may have. I promise our team has worked tirelessly over the last couple weeks to make sure that we are abreast of all the proper policies and procedures. And while doing so, we can still provide a fun and safe atmosphere for your children. So like I said, any questions that you have, I promise you, we are here to answer them. You should see a slideshow come up on your screen now, and we will work our way through the slide, and I will pretty much explain everything more in depth. I know you guys got a packet of information that came out. I think it was Wednesday. We sent out a lot of information, and of course, you know, we sent it out early because we wanted you to be able to go through it as parents and kind of formulate whatever questions you may have within that information, and then we can come back today and discuss it and clarify it and make it crystal clear. So like I said, any questions that you have, please make sure you ask them as we move through this presentation. So let's get started with the first slide, Summer Camp Virtual Orientation. Here we go. Drum roll, please. All right, what does camp quarantine mean? Okay, so safety. Throughout the building, we will, of course, practice social distancing all throughout the building. So how does that change what we'll do? Meaning, we will not eat as a collective group for lunch and snack and breakfast. Those things will happen within the classroom. All students, we will keep students basically in that classroom. We will not mix for the most part. So when your child comes in, their class, that's going to be their class every day. I mean, kind of functions the same way school does. That classroom is going to be their classroom. Now, they won't be confined to the classroom. They'll still go outside. They'll still go to the gym. You know, they can go to the computer lab, or we have the Chromebooks that we can bring inside the classroom. They will go to the cafeteria for certain activities and things when we have different people come in to do certain things. But that group is pretty much going to be their group for the entire day. Along with that, we will clean through. When I say I met with the staff on Friday, they know, of course, you all know, anybody that's been a part of the Learning Center, New Life Christian School of Excellence, New Direction Summer Camp, you all know that we have always maintained a clean facility. But we will take that to a higher degree this summer. They will clean and sanitize around the clock, classrooms, handles, everywhere, every surface that you see, I can assure you, will be cleaned multiple times throughout the day, because not only is it our job to create a safe environment for your children, but also for us. So it is definitely a partnership. We want to be protected and keep your children protected, so that way your family is protected as a whole. So it's also, let me see what else we got. Also on safety. When your children come in, they will not be able to just be dropped off on the curb. I know some of you have had that practice for years and years and years. You drop off, wave, Mr. George, Ms. Bethune, hey, okay, got him, sign him in. That cannot happen this year. And the reason why it cannot happen is because we will absolutely be doing temperature checks at the door. So your children will have to get their temperature checked before they can even move into the facility. And so, of course, you'll still see my face out there and Ms. Bethune, and that's kind of how we'll work the check-in process this year. And that temperature check, the initial temperature check to come in the building, is not the only one that'll happen throughout the day. It'll happen 2 more times throughout the day. because we want to make sure we are doing our part to monitor across the board and make sure that we are in good company with everybody that comes in the building. And that's not just for your children. That's for myself and everybody on staff. Their temperatures will be checked coming in the facility as well. So you can rest assured, like I said, we are doing everything on our end to make sure that we provide that safe environment. So, you know, while you're at work or working from home or wherever you're working from, you can rest at ease knowing, of course, like Allstate, your children are in good hands with us. So education. So, of course, we all know school has been out since mid-March. And if you know, like I know, to be honest, that is a detriment to the children across the board. So I took it upon myself and our team. We wanted to focus on education this year to make sure that when they do go back to school, we have done our part to make sure they're educated, they're not missing a step, because roughly you're talking about 6 or 7 months being out of a classroom versus 2 months. And even if you're the best homeschool teacher, and by all means, every parent that has had to teach from home or become a homeschool teacher, you know, my hat's off to you. Of course, that's no easy feat. But we want to make sure that we do our part on our end to educate them so that once school starts back, they're not missing a beat. So what we have done and I know you saw if you looked at the calendar that we sent out, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, that 9 to 11 slot is going to be our educational block. So we are doing the subjects math, science, and reading enrichment. That will happen all summer long, depending on making sure that we are, you know, we have the numbers to continue on in that. But we will definitely do our part to make sure that education is first. So that, I mean, if your children come home and they're like, Mom, you know, Mom, Dad, we were in the classroom and, man, they had us. Yeah, we did. We did. The science class, they're going to do great projects, things that are, you know, going to be fun. It's not just going to be just the humdrum in the classroom, but, you know, we have tried to find that balance of both. But we want to make sure that you know that we believe in education, and this summer you're going to see it first class, because I want to make sure that, you know, our children as a whole, we want to try to bridge that gap that has taken place due to the COVID-19 circumstances. We want to make sure we bridge that gap this year. So you can trust me, hold me accountable for that. You know, if you have any questions or any things that you want us to know as far as how your child learns or things that we may need to adjust to, you know, let me know so that when our teachers come in, we can go ahead and let them know, and they'll do an assessment on the first day, which is Tuesday. So the first day of the educational block would be Tuesday, and they will do an assessment on Tuesday. And on that Tuesday for that assessment, that'll kind of be where they gauge where all of our children are. And so that way they know kind of how to teach and how to work with each student in each group. Because, like I said, we want to make sure that we are equipping them so that once, you know, the fall comes, they are ready to go. They are locked and loaded. And, of course, when it comes to the fun, you all know, everybody that's been a part of New Direction Summer Camp, you know Mr. George loves to have fun. So, though, when you look at that calendar, you may say, man, it's the same thing over and over again. Do understand that in that art program that we're bringing in, each week they have a different art project that they're going to do. The dance instructor, the step instructor. We have a fitness camp, where we'll do a fitness camp basically for each group. We'll have personal trainers that are going to come in weekly and work with each group. So we are still giving you that fun atmosphere, even though we can't travel as much as we normally do. I know you saw on Mondays, we will travel to Roller Motion. Okay, I got it. They want more in-depth information on reading, math, etc. Got it, no problem. Okay, so we'll go back to Roller Motion. So our teachers that will come in, they have a curriculum that they will follow for the entire summer. And it's age appropriate, grade level appropriate for each group. So as far as reading goes, math goes, science goes, they will follow a curriculum for the summer. And if you would like for me to make that curriculum available to you, just let me know, and I can definitely get with the teachers and make sure that you have that so you will know what your child is learning. Now, I promise you, we will not send homework. I promise you, we will not send homework home for the summer, but they will be active in the classroom. They will have active classwork, and even on off days, they may have some things that they do as a refresher just to make sure that they're ready. So when the next week comes, they're picking up a new not really a new subject, but a new lesson plan, and they're moving with that lesson plan. And I mean, that goes for, like I said, science, math, and reading across the board. And there's not a group that's going to be left out from that. So from 5 all the way up to the 10 to 13 age group, they will have a different curriculum for each age group specific for those grade levels. So, I mean, if it's something else that you need, Ms. Bethune or Ms. Jamie, y'all let me know so I can make sure I cover that. When it comes to the travel, like I said, the only place that we will really travel to is Roller Motion. And the reason why I selected Roller Motion, because I have already met with them. I can rent out, and we are renting out the entire facility. So, of course, we do not have to worry about any other students, campers, or anyone else being in there outside of our group. They will sanitize before we get there. Our staff will sanitize again once we get there. And, I mean, that's the only field trip you'll really see us take, at least for the month of June. I have said that once July comes, we will reevaluate where the world is and what the parameters that we can operate within. So July, we may change July if we're able to, because there are definitely some other things that I would like to do, but we want to make sure that we function within those parameters that the health department and that the CDC has set for us. As well as, let's see, Roller Motion, just like the movies. I know you see that NDSC Cinema. So what we will do every Wednesday, we have a large projection screen. It's kind of like the outdoor, like movie in the park projection screen. So we will set that up. We'll still do concessions. I've decided we're going to spruce up the concessions a little bit, just to kind of balance out what we can't do with what we can do. So we have, okay, got you. So we will have like real deal concessions from wings to nachos to popcorn, things like that, so that your children are not missing out on that side of it when we sit down to have the movie time. And one more note on the teaching component, I do want you all to know that every teacher that we are bringing in the facility this summer is a certified teacher. So you can rest assured, Mr. George will not be in the classroom teaching anything. I promise you, I will not. That is not my area. That's not my strong suit. But I let the teachers teach. And so we will have certified teachers that will come in each math, reading, and science across the board. So like I said, I wanted to make sure we stress that. So any questions, again, that you have, please feel free to let me know. Or feel free to shoot me a text in the remind or call. Of course, I live at the facility. So call, and I'll make sure I cover all those things. I think that's everything on that slide. You guys can roll to the next slide. All right, so access granted, I kind of hit on this just a little bit. Morning drop-off, students must be dropped off at the front door. Of course, the temperature check must happen in order for your child to gain access. Now, once that child, if your child comes in the facility and, well, not into the facility, but they arrive at the facility, we check their temperature, and their temperature is that 100.4 signature, they will not be able to be admitted into the facility. And even if your child has a marginal temperature, what we will do is we will give them a second chance. We'll give them a few minutes to, maybe cool down. Maybe it was hot on the way there. Maybe they sat in the window against the sunlight on the way there. So we will give them a chance to kind of cool down from that, and we will check it again. And if it's still in that marginal range, we will, hey, mom, hey, dad, we need you to come back and get them. And I think as parents, you all should appreciate that, because we want to make sure that we're not taking any chances. We're not taking any risk across the board. Like I said, our job is to keep us safe, to keep your children safe, and to ultimately keep your home safe as a whole. So that is, kind of where we are. We have kind of brought down our numbers this year, just because we want to make sure that we can keep our numbers within the parameters of what we're allowed to have in the building. So let me break that down to you too. What we have done, for instance, typically in the summertime, we share our facility with the Learning Center at New Life. That's not happening this year. We have moved the Learning Center to the Learning Center campus on Carolina Avenue. So the Center of Excellence, the school, that is all for New Directions Summer Camp, so that we can spread out and space out and effectively have the appropriate numbers. There will be no classroom that has more than 10 students in the classroom. every classroom. It's 10 or less in each classroom. And we're spread out across the building, so that way we can make sure that, of course, we are not overpopulating the rooms. I love to have, our large number and do the things that we do with those large numbers, but this is just not the year for that. So we have kind of watered down that aspect to kind of make sure that with everybody that comes in those doors, we can provide ample care and make sure we're still giving you the fun, action-packed summer, but again, within those parameters that we have been given by the CDC. So again, if you have any questions on gaining access to the building, please feel free to ask, and I'll make sure and let you all know. Along with, I'll wait till we get to another slide. Take me to the next slide, please. All right, so our NDSC environment, the daily routine, of course, temperature checks 3 times a day. I talked about that. So the 3 times a day, we'll take the first temperature, of course, to gain access into the facility. The second time will be about midday, and then the third time will be right around snack time. We'll take all 3, and we will log those all summer. So, at any point, if you as a parent ask for whatever reason you may want to know, we can spit that back out to you because we will have a log that we keep those temperatures for the duration of the summer. So that will happen every single day. We won't skip a day on that. We won't do Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Those temperature checks will happen 3 times daily. I will be doing those, and if it's not me, it'll be Miss Bethune, so that way you don't have to worry about who's kind of doing what and making sure we're getting accurate reads. It'll be myself and Miss Bethune that will perform those temperature checks across the board. The daily routine, we have pretty much a set schedule that we will kind of follow, and I think that was also in that packet, that schedule that you'll see kind of how we'll follow and flow throughout the course of the day. Like I said, breakfast, for instance, when they come in, that breakfast will happen within the classroom. Lunch, snack will happen. All those things will happen within the classroom. They'll still be able to purchase snacks from the vending machine. We will just pretty much roll them through on the snack cart. Fridays, they can do ice cream just the same. All those things will roll through on the cart and kind of do that exchange from the classroom. We will also provide snacks, and we will get you guys, I know we sent out a calendar for lunch and kind of several other things, but we will send out a rotation as far as what snacks we provide daily. So even if they, didn't want to, can we bring our meals if substitutes are necessary? Can we bring our meals if substitutes are? Ask if you can. Ask, are you pertaining to lunch or snack? Ask that, and then let me know on that. But we will have set snacks that we provide on a daily basis so that you don't have to send a snack. That's the goal, to be honest, is for you to not send a snack. We really don't want to you to have to send anything from home. We want to try to provide everything from our facility so that way, we are making sure that we meet every requirement and qualification. So again, like when it comes to snacks, you can either send money for them or allow us to provide the snacks. And again, we can give you guys the approved list of snacks. And if that question is pertaining to lunch, what I would ask is that you can have your lunch delivered if that's something that you kind of want to do from a restaurant, and you have, it delivered to us. I know that's been something that has happened in the past. But as far as we would really urge you not to just send snacks from home, not to send lunch from home. We want to try to abstain from that as much as we possibly can moving through the course of the summer. Take me to the next slide. I think I pretty much covered everything on that slide. All right, so what's different this summer? Man, that question is pretty much like a loaded question. Oh, so many things that are different, but so many things that are the same. For instance, like I said, our groups will be split. That group, we won't do any large gatherings as a group. You will not see that across the board. And that even goes for the finale. And I will put information out there as far as how we will do registration for Camp 2021. I will, definitely put that out, of course, as we get closer to the end of the summer. But we will not do a finale this year. Camp is just going to kind of happen, and then the big trip, you won't see that big trip this summer. So those are things that we had to sacrifice this year. But of course, like I said, we still want to give your children a fun atmosphere. So one of the things that we're bringing to them is the Food Truck Fridays. Food Truck Fridays, of course, now don't think that is like a provided lunch. Of course, those are days that you would need to send money for your child. And we'll still have the regular cafeteria lunch on that Friday if you don't want your child to, participate in those food trucks. And we'll make sure that we notify parents on what food trucks are going to be there, so you can kind of get a price point and decide, what your children are allowed to have or not allowed to have. But that's something to just give them that break. We'll go outside, and of course, when we're outside, they won't have to wear those masks. When we're outside, we will wear masks within the facility. Now, let me make sure I drive that point home. They will definitely have masks on in the facility, in the classroom. They will have masks. We have already purchased masks. We will provide those masks to you tomorrow when your children come to camp. And the first set of masks are on us. If you want to buy another set of masks for your child, they are children's masks. It is a cloth mask. We can let you know. I think we'll do those at $5 for any additional masks that you want to get for them. They're color coordinated for each group. So that way, we can just kind of be able to quickly identify those. I'm a stickler for knowing where each child is supposed to be. But so when we're outside, or let me make sure I let you know. So when we're outside, they will not be required to wear masks. When they're doing active activities, they will not be required to wear masks in those times. So, when they're doing dance, or when they're playing in the gym, or, those types of things, they will not be required to wear masks at those times. But in the classroom and as they move through the facility, masks will be required. So I want to make sure I let you all know that. But when we do those food truck Fridays, we'll be outside, and they won't have to have masks. Of course, they'll still be separated. They'll still be with their specific group outside. Of course, you guys know we have a very large campus for them to kind of spread out over the course of our outdoors. But, that's just something we wanted to bring to kind of, curve that, get outside and do something different. Along with, like I said, the fitness instructor that's going to come in, the dance instructor that's going to come in, the art instructor that's going to come in, the step instructor that's going to come in. And then they have a chef that's going to come in and do cooking every other week with them. So when you ask me what's different, those things are different. Though we're not taking trips, the goal was to try to bring as many active activities as we can to okay, I got you. The goal was to try to bring as many active activities as we can to the facility, so that way, though we're making that trade-off as far as trips go, we can still provide that fun atmosphere within the facility. So anywhere you see those, please pay attention, because it's very methodical as far as what days each children will do certain things. So just please make sure you kind of give your children a heads up as far as what they're going to be doing. I don't want them to be caught by surprise. And I wouldn't want them to miss anything, I promise you. Like I said, we have worked tirelessly to make sure that we still provide a very fun and active summer for the children. I don't want you to think that, the children are just going to be sitting in the classroom, not doing anything. I promise you, you all know me, New Direction Summer Camp, our reputation. I promise you, they will have fun this summer, and they will be safe this summer. So I want to make sure I keep driving that point home to you. I see I have a question specifically about the 5-year-olds in Food Truck Fridays. So with the 5-year-olds, all right, so you can still send, I know in the past we've done that prepaid card. If you want to, can the students wear neck gaiters? Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. As long as they cover up their mouth, they are fine. But you can still do that prepaid gift card or Visa gift card, debit card, and that can function when we go to Roller Motion. It can also function when we do those Food Truck Fridays, or you can send money with your children. But do understand that, when it comes to the 5-year-olds, I think it's better that you do the card and allow us to hold the card. And then, when it comes time to go to Roller Motion, or when it comes time to go to the food truck, we can really get them whatever if you give us specifics as far as what they are allowed to have, or what, exactly what you want them to have. And that's going to go hand in hand with us notifying you and letting you know exactly what food trucks are going to be on the campus that Friday. So you can pretty much send us, I know Miss Jamie does a phenomenal job with the 5-year-olds, and many of you know her from TLC. You can kind of let Miss Jamie know directly through Remind, or call us and let us know, hey, Miss Jamie, on Friday, my child is allowed to have 1, 2, 3, and that is exactly what they'll have, and that's kind of how it'll work for the 5-year-olds. Now, once you start going up from 5-year-olds, you can, if you want us to give your child a specific menu, we can do that, or if you just want to let them choose, that's fine too. We're not really strict when it comes to that. As long as they have the money to do it, I'm a proponent of letting them have what they want. So any deviation from that, I would need you to let me know, myself, Miss Bethune, or Miss Jamie. Let one of us know by way of reminder, either when you see us in the morning, so we can kind of make sure we adjust accordingly to whatever parameters you want us to have. Let's see, what else is different? So when it comes to, y'all know I love football. I coach football. Shout out to the Bessemer Tigers. I coach football, but like football, basketball, those are things that we have definitely had to rethink, because according to the CDC, we're not allowed to let the children share balls. So, of course, you can rest assured that those types of things won't be happening. But we have, and I can, if you want to ask me more specifically when you see me tomorrow or anytime throughout the week, Mr. George, kind of what active activities are they going to do while they're outside? I'll be glad to kind of work with you on some of the games and different things that we've had to come up with so that they are still active, they're still moving, and it's still fun. I know they like to compete. I know, especially for the guys, they love to compete. That's just, we're macho, that's what we do. So we have created things, and I have really charged the staff as far as creating games and activities and things like that that they can do that will still be fun, whether they're in the classroom or out of the classroom. So like I said, if you want to see that, I'll be glad to kind of share that with you on a more in-depth level. You can kind of let me know and we can go from there. You guys can take me to the next slide. All right, questions. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them, if you haven't already asked them. Let me cover this. Many of you got information about the ProCare system. The ProCare system is a completely automated system, and the reason why we are moving to that is because we don't really want to have to deal with money coming from a lot of different households this summer. So a goal of the ProCare system is, can we send hand sanitizer? Yes, you can absolutely send hand sanitizer. I can assure you we have plenty of hand sanitizer. We have plenty of Clorox wipes. We have plenty of Clorox bleach. We have been stockpiling, getting ready for the summer. We knew this day was coming. And so we have been getting ready in the time that we were off. We were getting ready for summer camp and the Learning Center New Life to open. So we began purchasing those things in advance. So you don't have to worry. I promise you we have plenty of hand sanitizer, plenty of wipes, plenty of Clorox. But if you want to send a personal size for your child, that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to tell you that you can't. That's perfectly fine. So the ProCare system is fully automated. Like I said, we don't really want to have to deal with counting down money from a lot of different households. Yes, ProCare is available now. You can go, and it seems like I'm kind of all over the place, I'm answering the questions as they come in. Yes, ProCare is available now. You can kind of go in and set your password up, and through that ProCare system, you'll be able to track what payments you've made for the summer. You will know where your account is for the course of the summer. You can set it up to where we can auto draft you from the ProCare system, or you can pay with a card. I know for years, parents have been, when are you guys going to go back to, being able to take debit and credit cards? You can do all of that through the ProCare system. And you also get updates from us on things through the ProCare system. Consider the ProCare system and the Remind system basically our two forms of communication that we will keep in contact with you and kind of let you know what's happening over the course of the summer, anything that we need to change or anything that we need to adjust. You'll see it come out on both of those forms of communication. So when you set that ProCare system up with that email address, please make sure it's an active email address that you actively check, because it really does us no good if we have that system in place, but you never check those emails. But yeah, so that ProCare system, it's definitely available now. We sent the information out on Thursday. I know at the time we sent it out, it wasn't ready. Everybody has been added to the system. It is ready for you to kind of go in and set it up, for your specific qualifications. And if you have any questions about that, feel free to let us know, and we can kind of walk you through. I know a lot of our TLC parents should already know about the ProCare system. It's the same system that you all use within that facility. We just have it. We have another deviation for New Direction Summer Camp. So that system is going to be our friend. ProCare system has been great. Okay, all right, that one was really small. If you guys could make it just a little bigger for me, but I see it though. All right, so that kind of is within the ProCare system. We've already set up basically what each, if you get a discount, a multi-child discount, we've kind of already put that in the ProCare system. If you get a discount for your child being in the, if you get a discount for your child being within the learning center and in the school or New Direction summer camp, your child must be active in the learning center right now in order to still be eligible for that discount. So if your child is not in the learning center right now, that discount won't be active. So if you go in and you see that preset payment, you guys know, so camp is $125 a week. Of course, that includes lunch, that includes breakfast, and then now that includes snack. I got you, t-shirts, got it. You guys will get to see, yeah, all right, so camp is $125 a week, and of course, it includes all those things now, and you can go in. Of course, the payment schedule is still the same. It's still weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, whatever works best for you. Just please make sure that you do it on the front end, not on the back end. And what I mean by that is I would not prefer to have your child here for 2 weeks and then you want to pay me at the end of the 2 weeks. Like, that can't happen. We've got to have that happen on the front end because all the vendors and all the people that are coming in, not to say vendors, but all the different groups that are coming in to do things, I got to pay them up front. So of course we need all of this to function so that we can move in unison. I see I have a question about t-shirts. Yes, we will do t-shirts. The t-shirts are black this year with a lime green lightning bolt on them. It's still the same 5 t-shirts. It's $45 for the set of 5. If you guys need to purchase additional t-shirts, we always have additional t-shirts available. I know some parents had questions about if we ordered the appropriate size. I ordered the sizes of the t-shirts based on what you did on your registration form. So that is how I selected what sizes to order. If you did not fill out a registration form, because I know we were in the process of getting parents to come in and fill out that registration form kind of when COVID-19 hit. If you didn't, you should have received a call from us to get your child's t-shirt size, or even in the remind. I know we sent out a message about the t-shirt size. So we pretty much have those sizes based on what you have already given us. But yes, we will be in t-shirts. Probably not for day 1 and day 2, maybe day 3. We may not be in t-shirts because due to COVID-19, of course, it has slowed down the production of a lot of things. So we will have t-shirts next week, probably about midweek. And as soon as those shirts come in, of course, we'll get them distributed to you. And then from that point on, your child will need to be in that camp shirt every single day. I know some parents said, Mr. George, well, if you guys aren't really going anywhere, why do you guys need t-shirts every day? I'm a guy of order and structure. And when our children are in those t-shirts, that's order and that's structure. It keeps all of us on a level playing field. Of course, we also have parents from all different types of economic backgrounds, and it keeps everybody moving in the same direction, so we don't have to worry about any bullying going on or anybody, hey, I'm wearing this, you wearing that. Man, we all wearing a camp shirt. If y'all know anything about me, y'all know listen, I have nice fashion sense, I would like to think so, and I don't prefer to wear the camp shirt, but I do it because it's order and it's structure and it makes a statement. And so yes, we will be in the camp shirts 5 days a week. As soon as they come in, we will be in camp shirts every single day. So that's pretty much all that I have that I feel like I need to cover. How can we ensure 5-year-olds? How can we ensure 5-year-olds with masks and social distancing? Okay, so the question was, how can we ensure 5-year-olds with masks and social distancing? All right, so the classrooms have already been set up. Like I previously explained, the classrooms will not go up above 10 students within a classroom. Throughout the course of the facility, you have to understand that your child will never move through the facility by themselves. They'll move through the facility with their teacher or with another staff member. So you'll never stick your head in the door and see students can't wear old camp shirts from last year until we get them. Yes, students can if you are a pre-existing, that won't really work for some of the new students that we have. But if you are a pre-existing New Direction Summer Camp student, parent, of course, I know a lot of you have been longtime supporters and we appreciate that. If you have those New Direction Summer Camp shirts from the past, yes, they can start the week off wearing those shirts. And while I'm on that, let me say this, parents, if you guys could do me a huge favor, I know I have some parents that tell me, Mr. George, at the end of the summer, you know, we keep 1 or 2 of those shirts, and then we kind of give the rest of those shirts away. Yeah, if you guys could not give those shirts away and rather throw them away, we have seen a couple pictures of a couple people that we know had never been to New Direction Summer Camp with New Direction Summer Camp shirts on. And I would never want anything to happen and somebody have on a New Direction Summer Camp. That's just not a good look for a New Direction Summer Camp. So if you all will, at the end of the summer when you're getting rid of those shirts, rather than give them away, please throw those shirts away if you don't want to keep them all. But yes, if they have the old shirts, they can wear those old shirts. I am perfectly fine with that until the new ones come in. So back to the question about the 5-year-olds though. Your child will never walk through the building by themselves. Anytime they sit down in the classroom, social distancing practices are in place. When we go in the cafeteria, whether it's for art or for cooking, social distance practices are in place. Even when they're in the gym, those same practices are in place. I promise you, I have hammered it to the camp staff and throughout the facility. It will be done. I promise you, you can rest assured your children will not be buddy-buddy, hand in hand, holding hands. None of those things will happen this year. I've even instructed the staff, though we haven't seen some of our children in a year, and when they see us, of course, they're going to be excited. Mr. George, you know, Miss Bethune, Miss Jamie, whoever, you know, hey, you know, in the nicest way possible, while we're in the classroom, we're going to educate them on the importance of social distancing. So when you see us, you know, a nice little fist bump, elbow bump, that's what's going to happen. No hugs this year, as much as we love them. So please do your part at home so that, you know, the children, because I know sometimes they can be easily offended. Please, please, please do your part at home to help them understand that when we don't hug them this summer, it's not that we don't love them. It's that we want to make sure we are doing the right thing. So, you know, we're going to do our part to educate them daily on the importance of cleanliness, washing their hands constantly, the importance of sanitizing, and why there will be times that they will be removed from the classroom for the purposes of sanitization to happen throughout the course of the day. So we will explain those things to them on our end, but just make sure that you partner with us and explain all those things to them on your end. Short of shirts can be paid for ProCare, right? Yes, you can pay for shirts in ProCare. Everything that you want to pay for, you can pay for in the ProCare system. You can even put snack in the ProCare system and let us know kind of what that, you know, okay, hey, I put $10 a week for snack. You can do all those things through the ProCare system. Yes, every payment that needs to be received on our end can be done through ProCare. Now, let me say this. For Food Truck Fridays, I would ask that you not put that money in the ProCare system. Rather, either do the card or send the money with your child on Food Truck Fridays. That's the only thing I ask. Other than that, yes, everything can be received through the ProCare system. Yes, yes, yes. Am I waiting on any other questions? I have been up for 37 minutes of just me talking. This has been fun and an experience. If you all don't have any questions, okay, electronics, yes, they can bring electronics because we will have downtime in the room, you know, where they can do things. And if you looked at the calendar, we will have certain things that will require them to have, you know, their cell phone or some type of electronic. There be different competitions and things. You know, of course, we had to get creative. You know, I told the staff, hey, we had to go back to camp from when I was in camp. Let's get creative and really get down to the meat and potatoes of making a fun summer camp. So, yeah, there will be times that they're allowed to have their electronics and do different things on their electronics. But I will say this, please preach to your child to keep up with their electronics because Mr. George will not, nor will he ever be responsible for electronics. So please preach to your child that they should keep up with those things. But yes, they are allowed. So any other questions? Am I waiting on any other questions before we wrap this up? Going once, going twice. Okay, thank you all so much for joining us for the 2020 virtual orientation. Like I said, even though we're closing down this forum, of course, you guys know you can still communicate with us. ProCare is available in 1 hour. ProCare is available in 1 hour. ProCare is available in 1 hour. Got an alert to tell you guys that message. ProCare will be fully available for you in 1 hour. Other than that, yes. Okay, so if you're having an issue getting on ProCare, I'm being notified to give them 1 hour before you guys try. I guess that's the notification I'm being given. Of course, we had to put a lot of data within the ProCare system. So within the hour, please try to make sure, or definitely by this evening, make sure you guys have everything going for ProCare. But yeah, so it's been fun. If you guys have any questions, shoot them to me in Remind. Either that's myself responding to your Remind or Miss Bethune. So if you have any questions, shoot them to us there. Otherwise, clear bags. Clear bags. No, no, no. Please, no. Like, don't bring any bags. Like, no, don't. Please don't bring any bags. Please, I understand for the ladies, there's a specific time where they will need to. But other than that, like, please, no. Like, don't bring bags this year. I promise you, we are trying to keep the environment bag-free. So, yeah, no, don't sweat bringing bags this year, please. Other than that, any other questions, guys, shoot them to me on Remind. Thank you so much for giving me 40 minutes of your Sunday. I hope you and your family have enjoyed this, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. The ability to pay should be available by Monday evening. Okay, so the note says the ability to make a payment within ProCare should be available by Monday evening. I guess weekend hour, something like that. I don't know. But the ability to pay in ProCare should be available by Monday evening. So don't sweat making that payment when you walk through the door. If you want to use the ProCare system, you can do it by Monday evening. Other than that, thank you all so much and enjoy your Sunday. We closed out.